Leadership Theory, Application, and Skill Development by Robert Lessier. I'm going to focus on globalization from a cultural perspective based on cultural diversity of the workplace. And because of this diversity and multicultural backgrounds and experiences, it creates a need for leaders who understand the importance of these differences. And as such, we need to diversify the way in which we lead. And for the purpose of that, there are four theories and models that will be discussed. And out of these four models and theories, I would choose one of them that best fits my organization. The first one is contingency leadership theory. And this leadership theory suggests that a leader's effectiveness depends on how well the leader's style fits the context of the job. So essentially, you want a leader in a position that he can excel at to start. Leadership style is a reflection of personality, which is trait theory, or or behavior, which is behavioral theory oriented. And that leadership styles are basically constant, which means they should never change, and they should be able to use it within the context of their jobs with great consistency. Um, uh, Next, with the leadership styles, in order to identify whether it's task or relationship, the least preferred coworker skills are going to be used. And with these scales, you're going to be looking from 1 to 10 to identify whether it's more high task or high relationship. And after determining your leadership style, you're going to determine the situational favorableness, and that refers to the degree to which a situation enables the leader to exert influence over followers. And there are three. Again, the first is leader-member relations. The better the relations, the more favorable the situation. Obviously, if a leader has a good relationship with his followers, it'll be easier for unexpected needs, such as overtime, to be met. Task structure, the more structured the jobs are, the more favorable the situation. If the leader can consistently place tasks in an orderly fashion in a way that the employee can grasp, they'll know that they have a consistent expectation. And third is position power. The more power, the more favorable the situation. And there are 8 levels of favorableness, and uh, they go from 1 highly favorable to 8 very unfavorable. And from the decision tree, you end up in one of 8 possible situations. And if the LPC leadership style matches, you do nothing. You should be in a successful situation. However, if your leadership style does not match, the leader may be ineffective and should consider changing their leadership style. Next is the leadership continuum theory. And the leadership continuum theory states that leadership behavior is on a continuum from boss centered to subordinate centered leadership. And their focus is on who makes the decision. And that a leader's choice of a leadership pattern should be based on forces in the boss, forces in the subordinates, and forces in the situation. So these are important to identify 7 major styles the leader can choose from. And before selecting one of these 7 styles, the leader must consider these 3 variables. The first is boss, the leader's personality and behavioral preferred style. Whether we like it or not, an organization or boss may have a specific style that they are looking for and that they want in their leaders. Subordinates, the followers also have a preferred style that they look for in a leader, so that they can get their needs met and also have a certain level of trust. And next is situation or time. And these are the environmental considerations such as the organization's size, goals, technology, things of that nature. If the computer isn't working, obviously that follower is going to want to have better technology in place. And so that leader is also going to want that. And so that's something that they need to stay on top of as a leader. The time available is also another consideration. If the leader has more time, he can make a participative decision with the employees. And if the leader has less time, he's going to end up making that decision on his own. And as stated, that leadership continuum model has seven seven styles to choose from, ranging from autocratic to participative. And the next is path goal leadership theory. And the path goal leadership theory states that there are a number of situational moderators of relationships between task and person oriented leadership and their effects. And the behavior of a leader influences the performance and satisfaction of the followers. So if the leader is not well respected, it's likely that the followers may not respect his leadership decisions as well. It also states the leader is supposed to use appropriate leadership style, one of four, regardless of preferred traits and behavior, to motivate employees to enhance their performance. And they do this by increasing motivation through clarity. They want to show the followers their path to rewards that are available, and also increase the rewards that the follower values and desires. And there are situational factors used to determine the leadership style that affects goal achievement through performance and satisfaction, and those are subordinate and environmental situational factors. And based on those situational factors, there are leadership styles. Then there are four. Directive. The leader provides high structure. As stated before, if an employee understands that everything is structured in a way that they can trust, it's going to work out for that type of employee or situation. Supportive. The leader provides high consideration. In this instance, you have some employees that prefer to have a relationship with their leader, so it doesn't feel like they're robots. Next is participative. The leader includes employees in input into decision making. This is an important aspect if you have followers with higher ability. They're going to want to be valued and also have place of value on their input because it aids not only that follower but also the leader in moving forward with that organization. And lastly, it's achievement oriented. Leader sets difficult but achievable goals and expects followers to perform at their highest and rewards them for doing so. The last one is leadership substitutes theory. This theory states that there are factors outside of the leader's control that have a larger impact on outcomes than the leader's actions. And contingency factors provide guidance and incentives to perform, making the leader's role unnecessary in some situations. And so it leads to substitutes for leadership, which make a leadership style unnecessary and redundant, and neutralizers, which reduce or limit the effectiveness of a leader's behavior. And based on the following variables, substitute and neutralization of leadership can be done with providing task-oriented direction and or people-oriented direction rather than a leader. And these three variables are characteristics of the follower, characteristics of the task, and characteristics of the organization. And the goal for the leader is to fill gaps in leadership. And leaders must change the situation rather than their leadership style. And that wraps up leadership substitute theory. And of the four theories, I would say that the leadership continuum theory has the most promise. It's easier for leaders to make a decision, and everything is very simplistic, going from autocratic to participative on the scale with 7 styles, and they can be very effective once a leader has managed this over time.